So hello friends, dear students, good morning. Hope you are safe at your home, following the instructions, creating the awareness, and utilizing the time too. So I'm continuing with my lecture, that is reflection of light. Hope you have gone through the concepts. In the first lecture I have given the basic terms or type of the mirrors or type of the images we have discussed. So hope you have gone through all the concepts and it might be clear. If you have any doubt or any query you want to ask for, you can call up on my number or put a query in the group. So I will there to clear your doubts. Okay. So let's continue with my next part of the topic of reflection of light. So already we discussed some basic terms like pole, some principal focus, center of curvature. So again I am just highlighting the basic concept of the focus. So this is already now you are aware of what the difference between concave and convex mirrors. So this is basically converging and this is basically a diverging mirror. So in converging concave mirror, so I have just drawn a ray diagram. Two rays, a parallel rays, almost you can say that if the source is at infinity, that is very far away, in that case we can assume the ray of light to be parallel to the principal axis. This is the principal axis joining P to C, and these two are the rays are considered for drawing a diagram, and these two rays are assumed to be come from a sun source being placed at very far distance or infinity, right? So let the rays meet, converge at a single point, say focus F. So now the distance between P and F is called as focal length. So it's also called as principal focus. This is center of curvature, this is pole, and the distance between P and F is called as focal length. And the same terminologies can be also applied to convex mirror also. In this also I have also drawn a ray diagram again, but due to the divergent nature of the mirror, see this is the incident ray, again a parallel rays I am assuming, but due to divergent, these are diversified. So these two reflected rays are not actually meet. So if I extended these two lines backwards, don't draw as a thick lines, use as a dotted lines. If I extended it backwards, I will see these two lines tends to meet at a single point, and that again point is called as principal focus. So this distance between P and F is called as focal length. So now two diagrams are in front of you. See the main difference. In concave mirror, focus lies on the left side of the mirror, while in this case focus comes on right side of the mirror. This is quite important to know because next topic we are doing with the sign conventions, or we are using the numerical sections. So these ray diagrams should be very much clear in your mind. Accordingly, then you are very comfortable, or the numerical problems are quite easier to solve if you understand about these concepts. Right. So this is a basic concept of. I just want to demonstrate what was the difference in the position of the focus or center of curvature among the two spherical mirrors, that is concave as well as convex. Right. Okay. So this is a basic concept. Now next is we will draw the ray diagrams. That is, ray diagrams means we just want to represent diagrammatically the position of the images for various position of the objects placed in front of the mirror. So these ray diagrams are quite important. You must practice this diagram with your ruler and a pencil and draw it neatly, properly, because straightforward questions come sometimes in a board exams also. But you must be very much practiced about these diagrams, right? So before doing the diagrams, here are some rules that makes it easier to draw the diagrams. So some rules that I am illustrating, that is, see, first rule. First rule is the rules are applicable to both, that is concave as well as convex. So I am trying for concave, for example. So here is principal axis, again B, F and C. So if a ray of light traveling parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it will pass through principal focus. I am repeating again rule number 1, that is, if ray of light traveling parallel to principal axis, then after reflection the ray tends to pass through principal focus. So this is the first rule which will help you draw the ray diagrams, right? This is the first concept. If a ray of light traveling parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it will pass through principal focus. Now second, if the ray of light passes through center of curvature, suppose if a ray of light passes through center of curvature, then the reflected ray will retrace its path along the same manner, right? Because I equal to 0 and R equal to 0. So it makes the ray of light to retrace its path back along the same path. So this is the second rule. If you are taking some ray that is passing through the center of curvature, then it will retrace its path along the same manner. This is rule number 2. Now rule number 3. If suppose a ray of light is passing through focus like this, principal focus, then after reflection it gets parallel to the principal axis. This is rule number 3. So it is just a somewhat reverse of rule number 1. So in this, if a ray of light passing through principal focus, after reflection it gets parallel to the principal axis. This is rule number 3. And now rule number 4. That is, if the ray of light is incident obliquely like this at some angle, say I, then it will reflect also obliquely following the law of reflection by an angle of reflection, say R. So this is 4 and this is F and this is C. So again rule number 4 is, if you are taking incident ray being obliquely incident obliquely at some angle I, then it will retrace, it will reflect following the law of reflection by an angle R. So in cut short, there are 4 rules. I am just summarizing once again. So rule number 1, if the ray of light traveling parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it passes through principal focus. Rule number 2, if a ray of light passes through center of curvature, then it will retrace its path along the same manner. Rule number 3, if a ray of light passes through principal focus, after reflection it gets parallel to the principal axis. Rule number 4, if the ray of light is incident by some angle I to the mirror to the principal axis, then following the laws of reflection it gets reflected by some angle R. So same rules are also applicable to convex mirror, aperture mirror, same rules, right? So these are the various rules which can use for plotting the ray diagrams. Next, right? Now we will draw the ray diagrams. The rules should be very much clear to you. These rules will help you draw the ray diagrams quite easily. Okay. Now next, the ray diagrams. The ray diagrams. First, suppose I am drawing the ray diagram for concave mirror. First is when the object is at infinity. Infinity means very far. So see, in this concave mirror, this is the principal axis, pole, focus and center of curvature. Already said, if you are taking the object at infinity, we assume the rays, incident rays to be parallel. So let the ray coming parallel to the principal axis. You can assume 1 or 2 or more rays to draw the diagram. Then as per the rule number 1, if ray is traveling parallel, then after reflection it will pass to the focus. So this is a reflected ray. And similarly, this is also same rule. So this is like this. So both the reflected rays get meet at point F, that is at focus. So both the rays meet at point F. So this is the converging nature also. So this is, that is, we say the image form is at point F. The final image, we will assume the image will be formed whenever the two reflected rays meet or intersect each other. So in this case, we will say the image will form at point F, and also the reflected rays are actually intersecting each other. So this is the example of real image. So we can say that in this the image is formed at focus as well as image is real. And always remember, whenever you are talking about the real images are always inverted in nature. They are not erect. Inverted means somewhat, this is the object straight forward, like this is the object, this is the object, this is the tip. But on the image, it will seem like this. Tip goes down. So this is the object, this is the image. This is called as inverted. So this is, whenever you are talking about the real images, they are always inverted in nature. But whenever you are talking about the virtual images, this seems to be erect. Tip seems to be tip, right? So always this happens. So the properties for the images can be framed as images formed as principal focus, right? Real and inverted. Second point, and third point is the image is quite smaller in size as of object. Image is quite smaller in size as compared to object. So these are the various characteristics. These are called as the characteristics of the image form for an object placed at infinity. So this is a way to draw the ray diagram, and you need to mention the characteristics of the image always in the question. If asked in the board exam also, we need to write the characteristics. What are the features of the images are being formed. So this is the very first case. The image is, object is at infinity and the image is formed at focus. Real and inverted, as well as the image size is quite lesser, quite smaller as compared to the object size. So this is the first ray diagram. You need to very practice hard with the ruler and pencil for these diagrams, right? So this is the first case. Now, second case I will continue. That is, now the object is very far away. We are assuming like this. Now, second case we are bringing the object somewhat nearer to the mirror. That is, our object is beyond center of curvature. That is C. You can't see. So in this, again draw the convex concave mirror, principal axis. Now this ray diagram we usually represent the object by an arrowhead. This tip is like the top of the object. Already I'm saying that this is the tip of the object. This is like the object. In the ray diagram, we usually use the arrowhead, right? So again, as per rule, the ray I am assuming parallel. So this is beyond C. So this we can mark as AB, this is the object. So as per rule, the ray is traveling parallel to the principal axis. So after reflection, it will pass to the focus. It's a principal focus. And you can take any of the rule. You can assume second ray passing through C. You can assume second ray passing obliquely to the principal axis. You can take any type of the ray for considering these ray diagrams, right? So if I take, suppose I am taking one ray passing to the center of curvature, then as per the rule, it will retrace its path along the same manner, right? So this is a reflected ray, this is a reflected ray. So So where the two rays get meet each other, the image will be formed, and rather now arrowhead comes down because it's a real image. Reflected rays are actually meeting, so it's a real and also it's from a inverted image. So this is a dash B dash position of the image. So we can say that real and inverted images form. Real and inverted images form. Images formed between C and F, and images small in size but not as small as compared to first case. First case it's quite smaller, but in this case we are not saying quite smaller, but little bit smaller as compared to the object size. We need to represent, we need to illustrate the viewer diagrammatically also. Arrowhead seems to be like this is shorter and this is long. The difference should be seen in the diagram also, right? So this is real and inverted formed between C and F and small in size. So these are the various characteristics of the second ray diagram, that is object is placed beyond C. So these are some of the ray diagrams. In the next lecture we will continue with these ray diagrams. You will practice for the rules as well as the two ray diagrams I have done here. So next we will continue with these ray diagrams as well as some sign convention and proceeding towards the solving of the numericals, that is quite important from the board point of view. So children, revise the concept. Again, if any problem or doubt, call on my number. Thank you. Stay healthy.